Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Good evening. Welcome to Clapping Go.
Thank you so much. Good evening to you. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Good. I'm also good.
How
Good.
do I pronounce your name? Is it Pabitra? Please help me
Yes.
pronounce your name.
Pabitra.
Pabitra.
Yes.
Okay, that's a different name. What's the meaning of your name, if I may know?
Yeah. So the meaning of the name could be sacred.
Sacred,
Yeah. Sacred. Pure.
pure, sacred.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow, that's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, just your name is like Miss Rini Rose, right?
It's
Rini.
Rini Rose. Rini, yes, yes.
So I think that meaning of the Rini may be lovely.
It actually means renew,
Oh.
Renew, renew
Oh.
or rebirth. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Just I saw that a rainy rose, so I thought that a lovely rose. Yeah.
Rose is my grandmother's name. So Rose
Oh,
is nothing else, the usual rose that you see. Yeah.
no, that's great. It's happy to see you here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I heard that you're a language trainer, right?
Yep. Yes.
Yes, that's great. So that's why like I thought to talk with Miss Rini and learn something else from her, and just I tried it.
That's great. Nice to meet you through Clapping Go.
Yeah.
So maybe you know a little bit about me. I'm not sure of that.
Yeah,
Uh,
I was going through that YouTube video, and just I was trying to understand what she's
okay.
doing and how she's like giving ideas to the students and all the people in
Okay.
particular.
Okay. That's great. Okay. I would like to know something about you because we are meeting for the first time.
Yes,
Please
yes, yes.
introduce yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I think if obviously my name is Pabitra Saha. I'm from Odisha, and nowadays I'm in Odisha as well as I'm a research scholar where
Okay.
but I'm here to understand like different people like perspective of different people and know from like learn from them.
Oh,
So
okay.
that's why I'm here.
What is your research topic? What are you researching on?
This topic is like just I'm going through that education, um, and that particularly my teacher management, uh, teacher education, all the things. Yeah.
Okay. So, what do you do actually apart from research? Do you work
No, no,
somewhere?
no, no, no. I don't work anywhere. So
Okay,
that's my
okay,
like yeah.
okay. So, you have been on Clapping. So, how long have you been on Clapping Go?
From yeah, I heard about this from last 2 to 3 months, but I was not like just going through that and
Okay,
trying to understand what exactly going on.
okay, okay,
Yeah,
fine. So, shall we get into the session? Do you have any questions before I begin the
yeah,
session?
yeah. Yes, yes. I have some like three. I have three questions, 3 to 4 questions here.
Sure.
So when I heard about you that you're a language teacher, I obviously that came into mind. That sentence came into mind that how like what made you to become a language teacher, and how are you feeling while you are giving training to the people. Second is
Okay.
second question could be how to think in English instead of asking. How to speak in English fluently. No. So I mean to ask you how to think in English, where in India, but Indian education system is like most of the time. If I say about my experience, that is saying that
Mm-hmm.
that make Indian education system making us expert or specialist,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that is making us think or like you know we call chintak.
Correct, correct, very correct. Yes.
Yeah. So and third
Okay.
question, yeah, and third question would be um, what could be the like best two magazines for LSRW skill? Okay. So when
What could be the best? Sorry, I didn't get you.
strategies to improve the
Strategies for. Okay, okay, okay.
LSRW skills. Yeah. So
Okay,
this
fine.
these three questions are in my mind.
Okay. So I'll answer your questions one by one. And if you can't understand something in between, please feel free to stop me. And then if
Sure,
you
sure.
can't listen, hear me also because of the technical issue. The first question is, how did you become a language tutor? How do you feel connecting with people or teaching people, right?
Yeah.
Okay, how I became a language trainer, it's only by coincidence. I never thought that I'll become a teacher and then a trainer as this. But I'll tell you something from a very early age of my childhood. I loved reading and I had some inclination towards the English language. I am basically from South India. I'm a Keralite, but I don't know something, you have got that inbuilt interest towards the English language. I loved talking to foreigners, some sort of mixed culture, all those things. I was fascinated to read about a lot of authors and things like that, though I am a drop in the ocean. But eventually, one thing that made me a tutor is for you to become a learner all through your life. Like, if you want to be a learner throughout your life, you need to learn every day. And the best way to practice whatever you learn is to become a teacher.
Yeah.
Suppose I'm learning something every day, and if I learn and just forget, I drop it somewhere. When I teach, I have to be 100% sure that whatever I'm telling you is correct. So I work at least for 5 hours if I have to take 1 hour class,
Exactly.
because that is how the learner will understand, okay, this person knows something, the person is not blabbering something. We have got a lot of trainers and English teachers in our country, very good ones. So that is the first question. The second one is how to think in English. Well, our education system do not teach us even now to think in English, except for the IGCSE, that is a foreign international curriculum. I've
Yeah.
worked in foreign schools, Cambridge International School. So what I understood is our education system do not have that requirement. We are blessed to have a lot of languages. Suppose English is taught in the school days, we learn only for grades. But some
Mm.
people speak splendid English because of their interest. They do little more. They read little more. They try to grab something from here and there. That is there. Now, how to think in English is what I feel is when you learn any language, like foreigners coming to India and studying Hindi or learning Hindi, what they do is they study a little bit of a culture. They
Mm.
don't imitate our culture, they don't follow our culture. So, understanding the culture of a country, of a place, helps you to learn the language. But what some of our youngsters, some of our people do is they try to imitate them and they forget their own culture. That's
Yeah.
gone. So you are, it's like, you spread your legs and both the legs will tear off. You're trying to put your legs on both the boats and it just tears off. That's not possible. So with the
Mm.
base, we have got the base, that is our tradition, our culture, our language. That should be the base. But thinking in English is understanding the culture of another place, understanding the people, and then you start reading about it and imbibing the language.
Yeah.
It's a slow process. It's a huge process, but slow and steady always wins the. This is what I have understood as a trainer.
Yeah. So
Okay.
can I interfere something else here?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you're talking about that Indian culture, so we imitate like foreigners, or we imitate British, like Britishers or American people. So I'd like to know that how that culture is helping us, or how our culture is helping us to improve our communication skills and improve our language skills. Where obviously there are like 22 languages are there in like, as
Yes.
per the
Very much.
Indian like constitution. So
Okay.
just I'm worried about that. What could be that culture and how that culture, what could be the best culture to um, like to understand and to that Bloom's taxonomy also there. If you go through that Bloom's taxonomy,
Exactly.
obviously you are the
Exactly.
teacher. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah. So our culture helps us because, see, when foreigners come and learn our language, it's like they know English or they know their culture, and coming and learning something extra is that it's an extra effort for them. Now here, if I am in South India, I know a little bit of what is being happening in the northern part of the country. I have access to so many people in my country. It's like more than 20 countries in one single country.
Yeah.
It's not just through schools, but we have access to a lot of people. That's a blessing. So
Yeah.
apart from our culture, we are reaching out to another culture and another language. Already from a very early stage of our childhood, there is mixing up happening. See,
Hmm.
first you learn in the school, and somehow you have to go to some other place to do your college studies, or
Right.
you somehow interact with a person from another state. So it's
Right.
access to another culture. So we are already blessed with interacting with so many people at least twice or thrice in our life. But I
Yeah.
don't think it happens to a foreigner, because only if a foreigner takes an extra effort to travel to go to some
Hmm.
other place and then intermix, that is happening. So this base is there. Intermixing of culture is already there in our blood, it is there in our society.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, what is the
Hmm.
next step to learn the English language? Where you have to take little more, because we are already
Hmm.
used to it. Extend our foot to that western part of the world and learn it. That's all.
Yeah, so
It
so
helps us.
if I give you example, if you see the Professor Kancha Ilya is there, okay, so he's if you read his book now, so you'll understand how language is made us thinker. And if you read,
Yes.
yeah, then if you listen to Sasi Tharoor also, then you can
Yeah.
understand how like he speaks in English, in a
Yeah.
different way as a thinker. Okay,
Yep.
so there are a lot of
Yes.
professors are there. There are a lot of academicians are
Lot of
there.
people from India
Yes,
itself,
yes, yes,
like
yes.
the personalities that you mentioned now, they
Hmm,
speak very good English, but if you listen to them very carefully, they have got presence of mind,
yeah,
decisiveness, the
yes,
willpower, everything is there, and they've got access to different culture. More than that, language is life, it is approach. They have
exactly,
understood the approach of their own tradition and also another tradition, another culture.
exactly.
That's what makes them speak in another language fluently. But people don't understand that. People feel,
Hmm,
oh, Shashi Tharoor is good in English because he was born and brought up in the UK, or he
right.
had access. That is there. That is an extra boon, but still,
Yeah,
it's more of whatever you mentioned now. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So that's why sometimes I think about this how they speak about English and how they speak in English. So I don't
Yes.
like I don't know I will be speaking in fluently or not. So I don't care about that fluency. Okay, I
Yes.
like I believe in if there is thinking is there, interpretation is there, that comprehensiveness is there, then obviously
Yes.
I can think and I can.
Definitely, you can learn any language actually. You can learn
Exactly.
any language in the world if you have got that comprehensiveness,
Hmm.
understanding, listening to the beat and rhythm of life, because many people don't have the time for that these days,
Exactly.
especially. In the
Yeah.
olden days, people were good in language, but
Right.
these days, people are more into other things that are alternatives. So, listening to a person, listening to life, enjoying the nature is like you have to teach people to do it.
Yeah. So
This is how you do
I
it.
think one thing is that PISA is there. PISA, Program for International Students Assessment. If you are in international Cambridge that
Yeah.
thing school, so that is giving that questions also if you see that questions no, so you'll understand how that is critical thinking based. So yeah,
Yeah.
sorry, I forgot last question, the
Yeah.
LSW. Give
Yes.
me
Best
one
strategy.
strategy.
Yeah, yeah. Best strategy. Okay. So one thing is what generally people do is they take LSRW separately. Okay. So when you go to an international syllabus or leave the international syllabus, we are learning a different language. Foreigners, they are used to it from a very early stage of their life. So even if you are learning Hindi for the first time, we say first you have to listen, then you have to attempt speaking. Along with that, you have to read and then write. Writing is the last step. But I feel this is like a package. Okay, you need to listen. After listening simultaneously, I think you need to read a little bit on it. At the
Hmm.
same time, you can attempt speaking, okay, because
Yeah.
it registers better. It's like a layer, like you have a cake here, okay, three
Hmm.
layer cake. It's like the tires. So without the base, the second layer will not be there. Without the second layer, you can't have the top. I
Hmm.
can't take the different layers and tell, okay, taste this, taste that. It will not be a whole. It's like a
Hmm.
combo. It has to, it should happen parallelly. But generally, with children, we say go for writing later, or that should be the last step. I will say, even after listening, speaking, and reading, you can attempt writing one sentence a day. So
Yeah.
it's like a package, and some strategies is like take this as a whole. It is part of
Hmm.
language development, and
Hmm.
LSRW is a known strategy. It's
Hmm.
it's really famous, and we all are following that. First
Yeah.
thing is it comes in the second question itself. Learn to think in another language.
Yeah.
Suppose you want to learn the Sanskrit line, learn to think in that by understanding the culture and the people. Yes.
Yeah.
The second
Exactly.
thing is, do not bring in grammar and other components of language into LSRW, because people get worried, get taught that way. Forget the old methods,
Yeah.
relearn and unlearn. Put it together, make space for all the four.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's great.
suppose I'll just give you an example. If you're listening to a documentary in English, simple,
Hmm.
on
Hmm.
coronavirus or the COVID pandemic, you are listening. Okay.
Hmm.
At the same time, you read something on the screen, but listening is more powerful. After that, if you have time, you will read. You read and you listen. Speaking, it's only
Hmm.
receiving part.
Right.
Listening and
Hmm.
reading is only receiving. That is what
Exactly.
happens to our Indian learners. Where is your practice? Your practice is the next two. What is that? It is speaking and writing.
Yes.
People always stop with listening and reading. Okay, I have listened, I have read, but I can't speak English language. But what did you do? You need to speak, and after speaking or parallelly, you can write something. That is double
Yeah.
registration.
Yeah. So just I just I want to give an example. There are a lot of friends of mine are there. So they are good in writing, they are good in listening, they are good in like reading. Okay. So when they come up to speak, so it is difficult to speak. Sometimes they feel fear if people will like laugh. So sometimes I feel not good that why that is happening with them. So
Yeah,
this
yeah,
is
that,
last.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, go on. Yeah.
Lastly, just I'll ask you something else. So from your suggestion, that what kind of 2 to 3 books you will suggest for like reading or writing or listening or that whatever. So two to
Okay.
three books. Can you suggest me to best 3 books? Where should I like go through in advanced level?
Okay. Okay. So just now you made a point saying that some people have got the fear. I'll tell you something very generally. A language is connected directly to your psychology. It is connected to
Mhm.
the mind. So that is where the fear problem gets eliminated. Now, coming to book suggestions, the only thing that I will tell you is choose a topic that interests you. Maybe whatever interests me, or maybe from research people say you can start reading Sudhamurthy's books, or you can start reading Charles Dickens books. I had a lot of learners telling me Charles Dickens was like very boring for me. You first
Mhm.
choose a topic. Suppose you love reading about family, about romance, about sports, choose that book. We have got all sort of literature
Yeah.
nowadays. That is the
Yeah.
first thing. Second thing is do everything together. All the four things you can compartmentalize and do it together as a package.